Thank you for being here. It is with my husband that I have remembered how to play. One day we sat in the ocean and I sat balancing on my board, learning how to speak ocean, learning to understand the waves. I sat there and from afar I saw my wave coming to me. I pivoted as fast as I could and I began to paddle in the direction of the shore. And the wave, it missed me. My husband said, "Babe! Babe! You have to paddle like you mean it! Go for that wave! Paddle like you want it!" Whew! And it is with that momentum that I began to think about how beautiful it is that surfing has taught me about life and business. You have to know what you want. You must know what you want and focus on it. And you must build momentum way before your client is knocking on your door so that you're ready. And this is how I started my Women Who Surf project. I moved from my first project in Jamaica, where I shared the story of Imani, a beautiful Jamaican woman who talked about her surf therapy retreat. And she spoke to me about the beauty of the ocean, the power of the ocean, and how this ocean, when we look at the boundaries, when we look at the horizon, we see no boundaries. We see so much possibility. And from Jamaica, I moved on to Brazil. And in Brazil, I worked in Rio de Janeiro, where my mom was born and raised, and where I was in part raised as well. And I worked with two incredible nonprofits. Now, one was called Rocinha Escola de Surf. Now, Rocinha, for those of us who don't know, is one of the largest favelas in Rio and one of the largest in Brazil. And if you don't know what a favela is actually land where people occupy without government authority, without having permission to build, with no instructions on how to build. Now in the favela, we have many families. We also have crime and we have drugs, but we also have so much love. And it was from that favela that this organization was born. And this young woman, Nicole, she shared with me the beauty of being a surfer, being tossed around in the waves and laughing that the ocean had just slapped her in the face. She paused for a moment and she shared with me her story. And she said how being a surfer and learning how to surf, and she's just beginning, learning how to surf has made her feel more confident. She has more purpose in life and in the ability to manage her thoughts and her emotions and how to deal with other people. From there, I went 2 hours away to Búzios, this beautiful little surf town in Rio. And in Búzios, the founder of this nonprofit explained to me how these young women are surrounded by beach, yet many of them don't know how to surf or swim. And so she offers this organization called Surf do Bem, which is Surf of the Good. And she teaches these young women how to surf, how to swim, and how to protect themselves. And she also offers an incredible reinforcement for school, tutoring. So there with Surf do Bem, I met Alexia, who shared with me that her mom had passed away in Rio de Janeiro. And she had to move from Rio where she lived with her mom, to Búzios, now to live with her dad and her stepmom, and how surfing was helping her manage her mental and emotional state. And now she had a special regimen and practice for each day. She felt inspired. She felt held. Now, as I was filming and photographing women who surf in Búzios, this woman walked past me with force, with momentum, with an unwavering faith. She had purpose. And I said, whoa, who is that? As her curls bounced and she walked. And I said, who is that? And my friend that I had just made, Bia, explained to me that is Giovanna. Giovanna no longer surfs with us because she now surfs with an older crew. She's learning how to surf the middle. She's really gotten the waves. Giovanna! I called and I ran as fast as I could down that beach. I wanted that momentum. I wanted that story. I wanted to share what she had and why she walked with such purpose. Giovanna! Oi, tia, she said. A beautiful way to say hello to another woman in Brazil, from one young woman to maybe a little bit older woman, is, hi, auntie. I said, Giovanna, I'm working on this project. I would love for you to be a part of it. I would love to hear your story. As it turns out, Giovanna and her mom, a single young mom, moved from São Paulo, which is another state in Brazil, all the way to Búzios without knowing anyone, in search of a home. Her mom said to her, Giovanna, I want you to start surfing. She said, look at my face. Take a good look at my face. Do I look like the kind of woman that wants to surf? Thankfully, she took a chance. She started surfing. She found purpose. She said she absolutely loves surfing. It's helped her dedicate her life and purpose. Now, I looked back at my journal entry from that day surfing, and I said, I finally caught my wave. I saw it. I picked up the momentum. I popped up on my board, and I looked in the direction I was headed. And I surfed that wave, and that momentum, that joy is what keeps me surfing for the last 9 years, learning how to surf with my husband, which I am so incredibly thankful for. It is that momentum that helped me find purpose in sharing this story of women who surf around the world. Now, if you're interested, not even if you're interested, please go to YouTube, check out Judith Rae, Women Who Surf. Like, subscribe, and share. We also have a GoFundMe, and that is what helps me continue to share my surfing journey with the world and these young women. Thank you.